his bat lined up.
Sawad is stronger built than a lot of his teammates, and he looks like he has the capacity to bowl a bit quicker. Generate a yard more pace in his bowling delivery, but he's got a strong action.
And that's the end of the second over. 4 for no wickets. Right, well, let's have a look at the points tables for the two groups going into the day's play. Group A first, which is the one which is led by Afghanistan. They're well ahead, 5 wins out of 5, and a very, very good net run rate. The Netherlands... Oh, I'm sorry about that. We seem to have the wrong one. Should we start again? Well, I'll continue with Group A. The Netherlands are second. They've got a pretty good net run rate as well, so they're well ahead with a run rate of 1.008 as opposed to Nepal's here, 0.328, and that's not going to get any better for Nepal, and it won't make a huge difference to the Netherlands except to strengthen their second place. So those are the important games in a way. Canada are in third place, and if they stay in third place after their game against, I can't even see what game they're playing today. They must be playing somewhere. Anyway, if they stay in third place, they will proceed to the final stages of this competition to find 2 qualifiers, and that's a big hit, and it's going for 6. Maximum score there. Thank you very much indeed, Mybra. That's the kind of shot. Thank you very much. Sanjam Regmi is the new bowler at this end. Quite often, here's the 6 again, way over Sanjam's head and way over the fielder's head.
Yes, a strong shot there, and not letting the spinner settle.
Oh well, that's a wild swing as well from Mybra, well down the leg side. If he had he probably must have got the ball must have touched his clothing or something, because there was no wide called. So Salman Regmi again, and that one sclaffed, as we say in Scotland, on the offside by Mybra, anxious to get on with it obviously.
Yes, possibly to make a mockery of our predictions.
Well, make a mockery of your prediction maybe.
I've seen the Nepalese bowl many times, and they are a controlled unit, and I back them to make a good fist of this game, certainly.
Well, I can't make any comment because I've never seen the Nepalese play before, but the bowling so far seems to be pretty good, and there's some good fielding to add to it.
I think the key today could be the bowling of Basant Regmi, who has been one of Nepal's leading wicket takers over the last few years.
Brother, presumably?
I'm not sure he's a brother, but I think he is a relation. Perhaps we can check on that.
There's a sweep slog all the way along the ground to deep mid wicket for Swat. Takes him to 3. Mybra's 9 not out, and the Netherlands total is 12 for no wicket. And we're coming up for the last ball of the third over. And that's well struck towards us and hits the boundary wall of the pavilion, and that takes the score up to 16 for no wicket after 3 overs.
Just bounced 2 foot inside the rope. This Dutch team, some of the players come over to play as professionals in the Dutch top classer, and after they make their year's residency, they then qualify for the Dutch team, and Steven Myberg fits into that category along with Wesley Baresi.
Lower down in the Group A table, below Nepal, are PNG, and they are in a reasonable position, but they're playing Bermuda today, so my guess is they will win that game. They've got 2 wins out of 5. Hong Kong, just wait a minute, and that was held back, that ball from number 14, Can't find number 14 immediately. Who is that bowler? Is it 74? That's what it is, Chandra Sawad. The sevens look awfully like 1. So that's 17 for no wicket, and brings Maibra, the left-hander, to the crease.
Right, we've just been contacted by a Nepalese fan, I believe. It says Kamal Jamsal. I've never seen Nepal play like this before. How far away do you think Nepal are from playing with the big boys? We'll come back to that question.
And that's been slogged and very, very well fielded by number 77, the captain, Paras Khadki.
Who is an excellent fielder.
Well, he certainly demonstrated that.
So, an interesting question about where Nepal are. I think my view is that 2020 isn't their strongest format, that they're better suited to the 50 over game. But as I stressed earlier, they have a very good development program, and that's always the foundation for sustainable success in the long term. So I think a decade from now they've got a very good chance, but they need to let this young squad settle.
And Swart takes that ball on the run and then completes the single, takes the score up to 19, halfway through the 4th over for the Netherlands, in reply to Nepal's 85 for 7 in their 20 overs.
I think the 2 ingredients that Nepal are possibly missing is a genuinely quick bowler and a couple more dynamic batsmen in the middle order who can really be match winners.
Oh well, that was well fielded, but the point about it I was going to make was that they were already halfway through the run before the ball reached the fielder, and the fielder Prithum Baskota had no option or no possibility of going for a run out. So that the Dutch are streetwise, really, I think, compared to the Nepalese at this level of the game at the moment.
And a lot of their players have experience of playing this day cricket in full member nations. Alexi Kavizi, of course, young player with Worcestershire. Barazi's got experience in South Africa, and Svart in Australasia. So they're wise heads.
And that's one of the reasons why this kind of competition is very good even for the smaller nations, because they have the opportunity to watch people who've had wider experience of the game of cricket and learn from it. And here's Sawad again, and that's that's Swart. Again on the run, he plays the ball and he's several paces down the pitch before he calls. Very quick single. 21 for no wickets, the Netherlands. And we've just completed 4 overs, so let's go for a quick break. Thanks to our broadcast sponsor Sport Arabia once again for their support. We're back at the game between the Netherlands and Nepal, and the Twitter regime has been out in force on behalf of Nepal. They're very pleased to be able to watch this game live on television, even if their side is not doing terribly well. There's another run for Swart off the bowling of Kaushan, who has a key role to play here. I think I can tell the Nepalese fans that they have responded well to that mid-innings pep talk by their captain and coach, and they've been very alert in the field. Yes, they've got a very hard task against the Netherlands. Netherlands sitting second in the Group A table, and likely to remain so behind Afghanistan, and possibly content to do so. Play the first match, the numbers 2 and 3 in each group, then play crossover matches, and in fact they have 3 matches to complete before the second qualifier. And there's a chopped ball, and Nepal celebrate their first wicket with great enthusiasm.
Try to give himself room there.
Yes, Maibra not really quite behind the ball, and he just chopped it onto the stumps, looking a bit disappointed, I think.
Kaushan's a very difficult bowler to get after, and I think he proved the point there.
There must have been some movement in the ball to get a bottom edge like that, I would thought.
I think so. I think he's slightly misread the length as well, because he went back, but it was possibly a bit too full for that shot. Opened his body up, but failed to connect.
Well, we've got Wesley Baresi coming in now, and he's been promoted up the advertised batting order.
Yeah, Wes has been on the scene for several years after playing as a professional in the top classer. He's a batsman with a good scoring rate, and can be quite exciting to watch.
Well, that's Nepal's first wicket. The Netherlands are 22 for 1 in the 5th over of their reply, seeking 86 runs for victory, and we're certainly hoping that Nepal will show the same kind of spirit and get some more wickets to make it an exciting game.
Baresi's got an expansive game. He may well be looking to clear the infield here. Certainly got the power to do that.
Had a message from Pratik Karki, Nepalese supporter, of course, to say, game on guys, game on, the game is on. And certainly the buzz about the Nepalese fielding makes one suggest they do have a little bit of self-belief.
And ever the optimists fans, aren't they? But another wicket here, who knows?
The Goshan. Shakti Goshan, of course, has 4 runs incidentally. And is that the first boundary? No, it's not, can't be. Shakti Goshan, of course, got the first hat-trick at this level in world cricket earlier in this competition. Is he the leading wicket taker in the whole competition, in fact?
Very useful player at 2020 level, certainly, because he combines dead-eye accuracy with the wicket-taking capacity. Which is 2 very strong strings to a bow.
Certainly a neat-looking bowler.
Very rarely gives freebies to the batsman, Kaushan. He's a player that the captain can rely upon to build pressure, because game of cricket's about bowling partnerships as much as it is about batting partnerships.
That's driven past wide mid-off to find deep mid-off. Nepal defending the V quite strongly, and that's the end of the 5th over. We're a quarter of the way through this innings, 27 for 1. Right, so we're going to look at the tables again if we've got the right ones. Thank you very much. Are we looking at Group A first? Since we've already talked about the top teams there, so we're looking at PNG as got to featuring this afternoon in the game against Bermuda. And a victory there might well get the better of their rather undistinguished net run rate. Hong Kong also in negative territory there, but we saw them yesterday performing there against Afghanistan today, so it's a bit of a no-hoper, but with any luck Hong Kong might be the team to topple Afghanistan off the top of the table, you never know. Denmark and Bermuda bring up the bottom places in Group A, and in Group B, if we have the caption for that, yeah, Namibia are topping the table, the only other 5 out of 5 wins team in the competition, and one would certainly expect them to progress to the initial final, and if they happen to catch Afghanistan on a bad day, Namibia might be the first team to qualify, you just never know. We'll come back to the game here, and here we...
This is Basant Rejmi bowling here.
Yeah, Wesley Baresi is the batter. Tell us about the bowler.
Basant Rejmi, he's...
you were talking about him.
Yes, he's one of the main threats for the ball for Nepal. He's been a consistently wicket taker for quite a few years now. Very difficult customer to face.
Absolutely, yes. He reminds me with his action of Majid Haq, although Majid Haq's an off spinner and Basant is a left arm round, but it's a very similar action at the crease. If you just watch what happens here. Yes, and that's lofted over the infield, and they'll go for 2 certainly. In fact, they should get 3 here without any trouble, and they're turning and going for that 3rd run. And takes the Netherlands score up to 30 for 1 wicket. We're halfway through the 6th over, so they're well on the way to victory in the 11th over. And we'll see whether Tim or I will end up on the winning side of the bet, the side bet we'll have here as to when this innings will finish, this game will finish. And a big appeal for an LBW.
Vasant's record in the World Cricket League in the last few years has been scintillating. Regularly up amongst the top 3 wicket takers in tournaments. And he's a player that opposition teams certainly plan against.
No? No.
Well, I'm very impressed with the bowling so far. It's been neat, tidy, and challenging. And I can't say that we've seen more than 1 or possibly 2 fluent strokes from the Dutch batsmen. They have been constrained. And how is that? No, the umpire is not, well, Simon Tofel, he's not going to be easily fooled with that. Not out.
Promising first over though, I think. Even the shot that cleared the infield was not that cleanly hit.
Well, it's certainly worth an appeal, and you know, there's no technology here for the umpires to work on, work with here,
which much to the pleasure of Simon Torfel, who hasn't been the greatest exponent of the increased aids that umpires have. I think he's enjoying going back to basics.
Well, that's what he said to us, definitely, and the opinion of the umpires is that the responsibility has come back to them to make the decisions, which is what they're there for. However, it's a different game, isn't it, when it's exposed to the minute technology of television nowadays. And that's a nice little paddle around the corner just for a single to fine leg, wide fine leg. The fact is that the technology is only possible because most of the big matches are covered by television companies with 20 or more cameras in every possible place.
In some respects, the more technology you bring along, the more questions you raise. Kaushan continuing with a tight line here.
Well, we've had a message from Nitesh Rejmi. I don't know whether he's related to the Rejmi here, but he says he wants his name, Nitesh, to be called out on the commentary as the greatest fan of Nepal by the commentator. Well, there you are. Okay, Nitesh, greatest fan. I hope you're enjoying this coverage. It certainly sounds as if you are, and maybe a whole lot of friends with you as well. But the other message we've had is from Kamal Yamsal, who wants to know, Tim, how come you know so much about Nepalese player? He's really impressed.
Well, thank you very much. Nepal was the first international cricket team I wrote about, actually, and I've followed their progress closely since.
And just to say, you write about it in Wisden and various other places, and continue to do so because you are a specialist in global cricket development, aren't you?
That's right. I look out for what I call the aspiring nations, which obviously includes the associates and the affiliates. And Nepal is a team that I've kept a close eye on. Very impressed with their youth program, as I've said before, and the passion of their fans.
And there's a straight drive for 4 from the moment it left Swart's bat, I think it was.
Might have been Baresi there.
Oh, it was Baresi.
But it was a clean hit, and he is a player capable of quite big strikes, quite a firmly built man.
And that takes Nepal to 38 for 1 after 7 overs. And we have another message now from Anup Sapkota. Do you guys back Nepal to go through to the semi-final stage? Well, we don't want to offend Nepalese fans in any way, shape or form. The likelihood of that, though, is relatively small, and we'll see what happens to Canada, because that might make a difference. Just above Nepal in the table.
I actually think Nepal have done quite well in this tournament. We'll see what happens today, of course, but they are a team that is adjusting to the 2020 format, and they've got a bit more work to do on that, but they're on the path.
And there's, oh, that is out. That's stumped. Very, very sharp stumping there by number 17, the wicketkeeper Janendra Malla, who is also the top scorer. And here's the replay. Here, I don't see the point of this shot at all, but it was smartly stumped and deserved to leave the field of play. And that takes the score to 39 for 2, so as Baresi leaves the action.
And as I was saying, Basant is...
hang on, there's a wicket in the other pitch now. If we can go over to David Holmes.
And of course we've just heard, we've just watched the second wicket fall here in the Dutch innings against the ball. Wesley Baresi trying an unorthodox shot, gets stumped easily. And there's a nice little stroke. The new batsman is number 26, Tom Cooper. And Michael Swart is on 10 not out. Cooper just getting off the mark immediately. 40 for 2 is the Dutch score, and they're chasing 86 for victory after Nepal were 7 wickets down after 20 overs. And with me is Tim Brooks, who knows all about associate level cricket, and particularly Nepal.
Tom Cooper is the senior batsman on this side in the absence of Ryan Tenders-Carter, who's playing some 2020 cricket in South Africa.
And of course we